This week, the Supreme Court trial of the man accused of murdering Carl Williams all but finished, and the jury will start considering its verdict next week. It must decide whether it believes Johnson murdered Carl Williams in cold blood because Williams was talking to police, or whether Johnson was threatened by the gangland boss and killed him out of self-defence. Either way, the evidence has given Victorians a rare glimpse into the lives of prisoners inside Victoria's highest security jail.
Okay, I tend to interview in regards to the death of Carl Williams. Have you got any comment to make about that?
No comment.
No comment?
No comment.
The defence case of accused murderer Matthew Charles Johnson relies solely on his own evidence. He was the only witness his lawyers called.
Is there anything further you'd like to say in regards to the death at this stage?
Just I acted alone.
Sorry?
I acted alone.
Matthew Johnson claims he had to kill Carl Williams by sneaking up behind him and bashing him with a bicycle part in April last year. He told the jury his one-time friend and cellmate, Carl Williams, turned against him after his father, George, left the unit they all shared in Barwon prison. Johnson said Carl Williams started to put him down, at times ignored him, and worse. In the witness box, Matthew Johnson said Carl Williams threatened him directly 3 times, once telling him he might leave prison in a box. Johnson said he didn't like Carl Williams' behaviour. In fact, he wanted to punch him, but he put up with it because he knew the man was dangerous. In a prison phone call, his friend refers to Carl Williams as the Premier.
What about the Premier? Same shit, different day.
The jury has heard it was common knowledge in Barwon prison that Carl Williams was helping police. He'd made statements that former drug squad detective Paul Dale had approached him to have criminal Terence Hodson killed because Hodson was about to give evidence against Paul Dale. Terence Hodson and his wife Christine were shot dead in 2004. Matthew Johnson had copies of Carl Williams' police statements on his computer. He told the jury they were put there by Williams or his other cellmate. But in this recording, a month after he killed Carl Williams, Johnson whispers to his best mate during a prison visit that he in fact stumbled across the statements on Williams' computer.
Carl's statements were on there.
What?
His statements.
Is it?
I found them. Put them all on there.
Oh, yeah, that?
One proper one on the Hodsons.
Yeah.
But 6 that he was doing, ready to give to him. Yeah, people I know. I've just gone delete, but first I will put them on the floppy.
Matthew Johnson, the self-confessed founder of a jail group called Prisoners of War, denies he killed Carl Williams because he hates informers. He said Carl Williams told him he'd spun police a yarn, that the whole case against Paul Dale was what he called a fugazi.
That's a fugazi? How do you know it's a fugazi? You looked at it for 2 seconds. Well, it's a fake.
The jury heard the prisoners use the term fugazi to describe the Paul Dale case.
Dale case. Still a fugazi, Mate Rinkers. Hello to us.
Matthew Johnson told the jury Carl Williams wanted him to go for bail, travel to Wangaratta and kill Paul Dale for the sum of $200,000. But under questioning, Matthew Johnson admitted that at the time he said Carl Williams asked him to go to Wangaratta and kill Paul Dale was actually in custody. Johnson explained that Carl Williams was confident the former detective would get out on bail eventually. Johnson also said Carl Williams had boasted of having Mario Condello killed from inside prison, and that Williams had told him he'd personally killed 3 men, including Mark Moran. But this is what Johnson said in a prison recording a month after Carl Williams died.
He's a fat sock. And he bit off more than he can chew. In here, mate, there's another bare bum in the shower block. Well, he was. Yeah, and out there, the only reason he got away with so much is because no one suspected he was a idiot. Never done one in his life. Forget Mark Moran, mate. He didn't shoot Mark Moran. He never shot a man in his life, mate.
The third man living in the high security unit along with Carl Williams and Matthew Johnson was Tommy Ivanovic. The court heard the convicted murderer had a friendship with former detective Paul Dale. In fact, Dale had once given evidence to help Ivanovic in his murder trial. This footage shows Tommy Ivanovic going to Matthew Johnson's cell the night before Johnson bashed Williams to death. Johnson says it was then that Ivanovic warned him that Carl Williams was planning on bashing Johnson to death with pool balls in a sock. Prosecutor Mark Rochford put to Johnson,
"Did it occur to you, Mr. Johnson, that Tommy might have been pushing your buttons to help Dale?"
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Tommy hated Dale. They weren't still friends. Whether they were friends in the past or not, I don't know, but he'd never spoken highly of him since I'd ever known Tommy.
The jury was told that the night before he killed Carl Williams, Matthew Johnson sat down in his cell and wrote to other prisoners about what he planned to do. He said that he was the general and he had to keep things in good order. He also hoped Tony Mockbell would understand. And we'll have reports for you on the verdict and reaction next week, here and on the National 7:30 program.